Hey guys, Will here. Today I'm going to be reviewing what's inside this crushed box. Stay tuned. And here it is, the StartRC Pocket 3 Gimbal Protector. Alright, here we go. Let's get some specs. Turn this on. We are looking at zeroed out, 31 grams. Compare that to the DJI stock. Ooh, it's almost double, 58. Or you can just say, maybe you just say that this is flimsy, but yeah, this is lighter, if that makes a difference for you. And let's see the length. We are looking at about 15 centimeters, a little bit less. Width, okay, about 50, so 15 centimeters by 5 centimeters by 3.2 centimeters, roughly, but you get the idea. It's more or less the same footprint as a stock one. It's not going to be that much more. Okay, let's see the instructions. Okay, press the button on both sides, open the protective cover, put the camera inside, close the cover. As simple as that. This is actually funny because this is like, it shows green and red, but actually this is a culture thing. I was like, why is this green? It's a green X, which means don't do this, which normally in Western culture, it's red is the stop and don't do warning, and green is the okay. But in Chinese culture, red is actually the good color. So yeah, it's just saying make sure you shut it off and that the gimbal is in the closed position. The screen is in the vertical position before you're putting it in. Very simple instructions and very simple device. Here it is. What do you think? 2 buttons here to open it. Voila, very simple. Okay, so let's look at the Pocket 3. Here's the Pocket 3, and let's look at the original case. Now, one thing I hate about, actually I mentioned about this original case inside one of my own reviews. One of the bad thing about this original case is that when you put it in, it's nice and snug in. This actually will not move. Very nice design in that aspect, right? It locks it in, so you actually don't need all this fully covered. But guess what? If you slightly nudge it up, now it can rotate. And I have found that this has been rotated inside my bag before, so you risk damaging the lens, scratching the lens at least, and it's just up by a fraction. It didn't even see it move, right? So it's a bad design. I actually put a piece of felt, the softer part of the felt of a Velcro in here just to add a little bit of friction in the event so that this doesn't rotate freely when you put it in here, right? So that it offers a little bit of friction on here. But overall bad design. I end up using, here, soft, like use a soft sunglass case to put on the outside of this, just so that in the event that this pops open, and has many times, and this can double as a screen wiper or lens cleaner. So poor design. This actually, I think what would help, and probably why they didn't do it, is because the lanyard here. If this thing was all the way to the end, you probably wouldn't bump this side. Maybe it'll protect the side from going down. And see, as soon as it goes down, this has free reign to rotate. They didn't research this enough when they designed it, but I understand why they made it like this way instead of the sliding. You want to protect you don't want to put pressure on the screen, the brand new awesome screen, which really helps. So this doubles as a mic holder, so that's too bad. I think they try to think of different ways to make a good case, and we'll like to see an update. But there's plenty of aftermarket cases out there, so we don't have to wait for DJI to make an update or wait for the next Pocket 4, which may come never. Make it come in the next 5 years, who knows. It might take a long time, because this is such a great camera. When I was looking at different cases, a lot of the factors that eliminated the choice for me or became a veto option was cases that required this. I wouldn't say required this on it, but they had a lot of cases that were built to have this thing attached. I actually never use this thing. It's more for having a tripod. I use this more for like walk tours, as opposed to putting it on something stationary. So I don't find I need to protect this. In fact, I wouldn't have it on. I can't imagine even having this on. Even if I wanted to use a tripod, I would disconnect it and just connect it when I need to use it. But a lot of camera cases, they're really long, like they're unnecessarily longer because they're trying to protect this for some reason. So that really left my choice pretty low. You can also comment below what case you use, and if you want to throw links. I'm not sure if the links will prevent the comments, because YouTube is a little bit weird. Sometimes when commenters drop the link, they might just delete it or like put it in some special area for you to approve because just worried about spam. So I don't know how that's going to work, but this case is definitely just only the same shape of it. It's a simple case that just clips onto the gimbal area. We have the felt in here, so it's nice and smooth. We have this area, and this is made for, it's not magnetic, but it's metal, so it's made for the whatever extra lens that you may store in it, just like here. This one has 2 wide-angle lens and a black pro mist, but yeah, this one has 1. It is designed to be able to hold a lens in here and be able to close, so you can look at it that way, but you're still able to. Maybe this is just for the wide-angle lens, but it's there, so if you need it, place it in. This is off, this gimbal is locked in, place it down, and it's covering everything here. And as I close this, I can feel the friction, so that is the felt. It's definitely gripping it, and then nice positive click. So I like that they have these buttons here. One side won't open it, you got to definitely push both sides. Nice safety, and click, and it's holding it in. Let's see kind of movement. So there's a little bit of movement here, and I think that's more to do with the spacing here, and there's not much you can do without, unless you wanted to do the extra step of wrapping like a little Velcro wrapper on it. You could. I probably, if I were to store this longer, I probably would just use this kind of case again, just to go on the outside, or if I'm putting inside a storage space that has like a lot of junk in it that may damage it, maybe I would use something like this. But I think this protects the necessary components. It protects the lens, the screen, protects the lens, the gimbal. There's no extra movement here. It protects the buttons, so that's important because you don't want to accidentally turn it on, so the buttons is a must. And protecting down here doesn't matter, but I guess they suppose they just want to finish it off to the end. No blocking of this, and most important about this is that it doesn't block the mics. 1, 2, 3 mics. Okay, so I actually made a mistake in one of my videos that someone corrected me on, and I was a little bit confused by it because one of the DJI staff mentioned about front and back mics. But actually there's 3 mics. There's no mic actually in this side. There's 3 mics here, and those 3 mics makes a virtual mic. So it kind of, depending on the profile of what you select, all the front and back, it's always variable. So for example, if you have on front, the mic on the front, and the camera's facing this way, it would use that mic. So depending on what's facing or anything, it will use those 3 mic, that information, and it'll create like, I guess, a sound profile in which it will constantly evolve and be recorded that way. It's pretty cool, and I think it definitely makes a difference. If I were to, like, I did a flashlight review, I put on front and back, and I found that, and when I had it on front and back, that it recorded my voice more clear than having it all, because all it picked up noises of like cars and other surrounding areas. So the cool thing is, so the mic setup is pretty cool. It works well. But the point I want to make, when I digressed a bit, the point I want to make is that the reason I was talking about the mics was because of wind noise. If you use this for like cycling or other things, or if it's a windy day, that you might get like a lot of wind noise. And one of the solution, actually, even though this has a software, it's not good enough. One of the other solution would be to run a remote mic, like the DJI remote mic that's closer to your mouth. And those remote mics also can have that little fur cat thing to block the wind. So that can give you clear audio, but you can also use something like this. These are just these fur windscreens. They're just made to be on small little mic holes, like the GoPro, and just like this. So it's basically a sticker that you put on, and then you put the little fur thing on it, and they come in like circles or squares. So you can put one here, and you can put one here. And with this design, you can have those fur cat or fur windscreens on the mics and permanently leave it on there. Something like this, if you had the original one, you actually cannot put those fur things on the side because you can't slide it in. You can only put it on this part, right? So I like that. I like that way that this is designed, where it's protecting just where you need it, and then it'll allow you to have these, you know, space that you can use other products to improve the camera. So I think that's about it. If I had, let's see, pros and cons. If I had, the only con I can think of is that maybe I can only wish that the plastics maybe more like this. I don't know why this DJI plastic feel more premium. I guess because it has a rubber coating or something like that, or more flexible. This is just hard plastic, and I guess it would have been nice maybe if the feeling was better, but I think that's just nitpicks. I'm really glad that they're using push buttons here to unlock it. So for example, if they went the cheap way, they could have maybe just made this part flexible, in which you squeeze the casing to unlock it. That would have been the cheap, really nasty way to make it, but this has buttons that you actually push and spring loaded. So very good. So far so good. I have used it, and it protects exactly what I need to be protected. Easy to put on, and then I'll have a future video in which I'll test these, because I want to see how good these are in reducing the wind noise, because the software is not good enough. Okay, that's it. It's just a quick review, and you can comment, like I said before, you can comment below what's your favorite case, what kind of case you're using for your DJI Pocket 3. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.